I'm happy to be here to come and work with you on loan. I'm here on loan. Secondly, I want to thank the Honorable Minister and the entire ministry staff for the warm welcome that you've given me on my first day. And it gives me initial confidence that I might find a team to work with here. There are things I want to thank my sister for this elaborate report that she has really read to all of us. I think it is a good beginning for me, an amateur in trade, at a tactical and operational level, but I know how it links with the security at a strategic level, because it's one of the elements that form the fourth instrument of power that states wield to relate with their citizens and other states. That's why you are negotiating, making negotiations. Negotiating, having what? Because you must have something, some negotiating chip to use for the other one to agree with you or disagree with you or something like that. So I'm happy that you are giving me a foundation, basis on which I can start orienting myself together with the help of these wonderful people I'm seeing in front of me here. I also want to congratulate you for your next assignment. And obviously, these building blocks that you've mentioned in your report that you have added on the ministry since you arrived here to make it more effective in delivering on its mission, vision, and mandate. I will be very, very ready to work with everybody. And I therefore graciously accept to take the mantle from Honorable Ntabazi, so that I can also make my humble contribution, running the same direction, not the opposite direction. Running the same direction, not the opposite direction, probably not at the same speed, but I hope I will. And it's not difficult to work with each other because you have all these policies to implement. You have a strategic plan to implement. And we also, like some of us, we also have the aspirations and expectations of the appointing authority. Of the appointing authority, whose strategic end state must be always at the back of our minds. For example, I've been hearing about him because I've been a spender. For me to secure this country, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and you people must look for the money. Now I am on the other side because I was dealing with the military instrument of power. While you here, you're working with the economic instrument of power. So now, what a switch.
You done. The tank.
180 degrees, 180 degrees turn.
Yes.
You've been consuming their money, now you go and look for it, and they consume yours. So this end state of competitiveness and export-led private sector through acceleration of industrial development for economic growth is a very, very critical element in the enhancement of the capacity of the country to develop or to improve on its economic instrument of power. You know that you can also twist, because it is a weapon of war. You can use it as a weapon of war. America uses it, is using it in the Ukrainian war, Cuba, through sanctions against Cuba, through sanctions. But for you, if they put sanctions on you now, you go on your knees. So really these plans and strategies and policies that my sister was talking about are a good start for us. We can only add on so that we go to what the president has been saying. He wants 500 billion US dollars GDP. Is that what else? In the next 10 years. So, incrementally, we must work towards that. And so the question has been, what policies, what legislation, what strategy, what plans, what linkage measures with the other MDAs are in place? You may think I've got some of the answers, and so those, I settle, those are some of the things I will be looking at and see whether there is a need for me to add anything, and of course with the assignments from my senior minister. I think we will be good to go. Because this docket must be come in the limelight of planning for this country. At the moment, it's like this. You find when you talk of linkages, when you talk of coordinating with other MDAs, the points at which you coordinate, I see people wanting to struggle. That's where they struggle with the other DMDAs. They want to take them when they say, hey. So I think we must work to finish, to harmonize so that we finish that. Issues of marketing and advocacy. I have been moving around these countries. You find there is no commercial attaché. So who is speaking for trade here? Because diplomacy is no longer this traditional diplomacy. It is about commercial diplomacy. It's about the interests of the country. Diplomacy is just one aspect of the instruments of power, diplomacy and the politics. But also there must be someone talking for these things. So marketing and advocacy are things that and enabling budget. Enabling budget. So really, I don't want to say much. I want to graciously accept the mantle, and I commit that I will also add a building block on what my predecessors have been working on, so that we reach where we want to go. I know you had so you have a general there may be some doubts on the semblance of soldering and trade. But these two guys are bedfellows, because one cannot take place unless the other one is there. No security, you know, money fears noise. Yes. If there is noise, the money runs away to where there is peace. And so who provides the peace? And I provide the peace so that you can provide, you can trade, you can make money, and then you facilitate me. So a growing economy cannot fail to facilitate its military, so that the military provides the stability, the peace, and security environment required for all these other things to flourish. So when we go to out there and say, no, these are big figures, bigger figures, try insecurity and see. So now I am on this side, and even I don't know, by coincidence, I was also a committee member on trade, tourism, trade, tourism, and industry committee before I came here. Yes. So it's really, now I will be arguing with my friends there. So I think it is a good thing that I learned some things about this department even when I was not there, while in the committee, asking a few questions. So now I am here as the one. Now they will be asking me. and they can choose to be hostile. They can choose to be hostile. So I know the reason the PS was talking, now I have a general. No. I don't think she was comfortable with having a general here.
I just didn't know.
She must have been asking herself, no, what kind of guy is this one? No, me, I'm very easy to work with. You don't have to worry about me. I understand the strategic importance of this ministry. For the security of this country, because that's where I have been. So from that strategic point of view, when I come to this ministry, it's because I know it plays a big role in the stability, peace and security of this country. If you have money flowing into citizens' pockets through a good trade arrangements that allows proper or improved domestic trade, and then not only quantitative but quality products for export. Who will be out there to be convinced to go on the streets to go and demonstrate? Everybody's busy. Everybody's busy. I am looking after my cows, and they say, let's go and demonstrate. Who is going to look after my cow?
Yes.
I am looking after my maize, and you say, let's go and let's go in and join ADF. What about? Yes. So I think those areas that impede the growth of trade, so that it can fight poverty, so that it can contribute to wealth creation, will be very, very good. And so for me, I will work with anybody, and I will participate in anything that works towards this strategic end state. The other thing is straightforward, very straightforward. I don't pass behind people's backs. And if there is something wrong, I call you and I tell it to you in the face. And please, I am also very forgiving if you tell me the truth. You've done your own mistake, and I have found out, I call you and we talk. Once I have talked, it is finished. You just go and sort yourself out. And we are on a new chapter. Bygone is bygone. I have already told you I enjoy teamwork. I don't like cliques. I abhor cliques. And I like mentoring other leaders. Because the biggest job of leaders is to create other leaders. But you find somebody's commissioner is fighting some small man down there. Do you want that job or what?
Which one do you want?
Which one do you want? The one you have or the other one of the small man? That he's fearing that this man, if I develop him, he may take over his office. Are you immortal? Are you immortal? Now I am 62 years, coming to 62 years. And I should be on my way out, working towards my way out. But do I leave a vacuum? Because the moment I start fighting those who are behind me, then it means by the time I go away, they will be too far to take over from me. So that's why I enjoy you, human resource person, woman. That's why I enjoy mentoring others to take over from me. And one other thing, she was talking of cautiousness. I have a lot of cautious discipline. Exactly. I have a lot of cautious discipline. So everything I do, I ask myself whether it is professionally right, or legally right, or even morally right. What will she think? It's very, very important. Don't be an I don't care. You don't care. You have a family. If they arrest you, they will be affected. The children will ask you, Daddy. So morals. And if those three refuse, spiritually right? Is it spiritually right? Yes, is it spiritually right? So that you don't mix personal interests with the interests of the institution that has created you. You will clash. You will clash. My mzee here, where he comes from, I don't know whether there are others who come from where he comes from. and understand his language, but I can say something about it. And they say, akatari kawe obika otigusi. Akatari kawe nobika otigusi. So we are handling something that does not belong to us. It belongs to what is it, in other words, what is not yours, you even keep before you are even satisfied. You are not yet satisfied, but I may be the owner, may come, let me keep. So we are handling matters of national interest. The citizens of Uganda are watching us. The youths are looking for jobs, and this trade is what can bring industrialization. They get scattered out there in those jobs, so that you get them away from being vulnerable to bad groups. And bad groups are all over. These things you are doing, don't think that those other guys who always sponsor doom like it, because you are taking away raw materials from them when you talk of value addition.
Yes.
And so they will come after you in a different way. When they hear something like that demonstration there, you can't be very surprised that that someone is now yearning to get in contact with those groups, so that you hear that I have been welcomed by demonstrations down there. So really, those four things is what you are doing, correct your professional right. You are all professionals. All professionals in your any areas. NBS. Yesterday, I don't know whether you watched TV. It was NBS in Parliament. It was my first day in Parliament as a minister. And I gave a very, very short maiden speech. And then what is coming up? NBS, now the aflatoxin report came in. And obviously now, aflatoxin is about quality.
Yes.
And you have, I heard somebody said quality control. I said, you So quality control and NBS, we are watching you. Seriously. Not only for the sicknesses you are causing Ugandans here by sleeping on the job or being partners in manyangering huko. So please, I will be watching those two areas, because without those being sorted out, you cannot export. You cannot export. There's a lot of rot out there. I am not a big farmer, but I have some things that I grow: cocoa, I grow vanilla, I grow coffee. Now you can imagine where the price of vanilla has come from to drop to where even now you look for somebody with 5,000 to sell it to, is not there. And the cocoa a kilo of vanilla used to be 250,000, 350,000. 1 kilo like this. Why is this price? Quality. We have joked around with quality. Immature vanilla, we harvest immature vanilla. Where is the quality control man? Does the ministry have the capacity to get down there? Cocoa, these chaps are beginning to cut these seeds of jackfruit. They cut them, boil them, they mix them with cocoa. What quality are we going to get from that? So, quality control, NBS, not only for ours here, like she was saying, now you are going to have harmonized standards system. Once you do it from here, then nobody needs to do it elsewhere. Well, that's probably better, but the way it has been, and I think that's how you're still operating, because I think somewhere in Parliament they said you haven't done something to activate the. That's why we cannot access the African continental free trade area. They said there had
we've not yet gotten a list of what we are exporting there because of continuous addition.
So in other words, we're still using our old method, meaning that even what is coming in, you should be our watchdog. So aflatoxin is not only coming from here, from our own poor quality food here, but also what comes from there to here. And for you, you have only, I hear, 200 spectators, including yourself. Huh? Huh? Against 100?
1,000.
1,000. And Kenya has 10,000 of those. So, so it's all about asking ourselves that question: are we legally, professionally, morally, and spiritually right? And even in the Bible, if you read the 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 20 to 21, it says, we want to avoid any criticism of the way we administer this liberal gift. For we are taking pains to do what is right, not only in the eyes of the Lord, but also in the eyes of man. So the general is now minister, so you can you can always say, in order not to bite your tongue and so on, just say honorable minister. That's all. I will be as easy as that. Honorable general, right general, do. You will struggle. So, because we have also been, yesterday I was undergoing induction to be like a minister, to talk like a minister, to behave. That's why I'm talking very slowly. Or maybe I have over-reduced on the sound, I don't know. But I will, it's a learning process. It's a learning process, but I will do my best, to the best of my knowledge and capacity, to make my humble contribution to the ministry's capacity to deliver on its constitutional mandate. Most of the knowledge I will get from you. If you don't give me the right knowledge, the right advice, I will make mistakes, and the loan will end without probably having contributed as much as I would have done. So I heavily rely on you most of the time, but be aware of those other qualities of mine that I've talked to you about. so that you don't kuntomeza, you don't make me make a mistake knowingly. If I make a mistake, if we make a mistake, it must be a mistake by both of us. But for you to make a mistake, make me make a mistake alone, is criminal. It's criminal. Once again, I want to thank the Honorable Minister and
Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for having appointed you to this ministry. And I want to be fair. I want to thank God as well that you are coming here is not, you must have quoted something from the Bible there. It's not chance. God looks at all these things as we go along. I don't want to talk much, but I want to thank the President for having appointed you and brought you here. And I also want to thank the Almighty God who guides him to have done this sort of thing, as much as you have also made your speech. I was so impressed that it was timely that you come here. I would say all what you said is what has kept me here for the last 2.5 years. Now, when I was given a job by His Excellency the President, my lifetime I've been in the private sector. I asked him, what does being a minister mean? And what do you do? He told me a simple language. He said, it is easy. They will write for you a speech, and at the beginning, you continue reading the speech. But by the very fact that you have been appointed to this job, you should be able to understand what these technocrats write for you in the speech. And later on, you start speaking off the cuff, spelling out government and all what you know, or what I've given you this job to do. You start ignoring what is written down, and you use it from your own mouth. I don't know what has happened today. Now, let me first follow what I was told. Let me respect the protocol, which I didn't know. Even now, it still gives me a problem. When I'm told to stand up to speech, I sometimes want to start on what they have written for me. But then when I look at what has been written for me, I sometimes say, where am I? Or when I go somewhere, I first listen to the first person who has said something. Then I learn what the protocol is supposed to be. It also, I came to know about it when I first joined the cabinet. Because His Excellency the President himself addresses everybody, honorable, what. But then there was a strange thing. He addresses me as Mugurusi Mwebesa. Not any other person has that title in the world. I almost complained, but I asked a few friends of mine. They said, I think you are mad. The man to call you Mugurusi among other people, maybe he knows that you have some wisdom, which you are putting here. So I'm saying, I want to thank him very much. First of all, to having appointed me a long time ago, and being ignorant not to know what I'm supposed to do. But now, by your coming here, I would say this is the first time I've known I'm a minister in this ministry. And colleagues, let me follow the rules of the game and read the speech which was prepared for me that starts with protocol. Honorable Frederick Ngobi should have been here, Minister of State for cooperatives. Again, now I've seen my PA. You the one who wrote the speech. You have put Frederick Ngobi Gume, Minister of State for Industry. Is that true? So the first day today. By the way, the remarks I'm going to make may look, they are serious. I'm now, the first time I've said I've known that I'm a minister. Look here, my friend here writes a speech which the president had told me that be very careful. People can make you miss on something. Honorable Frederick Gumi, minister, you know them since you have been here. He's our Minister of State for cooperatives. Never mind about the mistake. Honorable David Bahati, Minister of State for Industry, is away on some assignment today. Honorable Harriet Tabazi, they told me in politics, once an honorable, you stay an honorable. I was honorable all along because I made the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. So every time people were saying, Honorable Moyosa, I said, forget it. Moyosa is a trader. But you are an honorable forever. And I'm also knowing that you want to aspire to be a member of parliament, which you have been trying. And you can be rest assured, me who has been here, I will even go to Wundujo and campaign for you, but you come to the When I divert from the norm, please excuse me. But now I've told you, I will campaign for her, for becoming and remaining a real honorable. And His Excellency, by making you a presidential advisor, you know, after he left to becoming an honorable in what do you call it, in the Constituent Assembly, he had asked me to be a minister here, but I said no. He said, you stay where you are. But then again, what I just want to say about that, you are an honorable. And the way you put the remarks when you were introducing him here, Miss Geraldine Sari, the permanent secretary, the heads of departments and agencies, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, I will stick to the speech that I was told to do, but understand it. But as I've said, my main aim is to welcome you here, General Wilson MBADI, of which now I'm correcting Honorable Wilson MBADI, Minister of Industry. And that is the role I'm playing today. Earlier on, I had been called at the Prime Minister regarding the tea sector. This is a crisis in the tea sector. And what is there as far as this ministry is concerned? You know, because I'm an old man, sometimes the Prime Minister brushes me away. He said, Mr. Jamkuru, you wait. Let the young people talk. But I always tell her that, Right Honorable Prime Minister, what I'm saying is exactly what is required by this docket. Because of our other, as you go in this game, politics, not the same way you have been, but you have an idea since you said you have been in Parliament. People sometimes say things which are this and that, fighting for their own ministry, especially about money. And today, the good example was we had the police, the intelligence, the what, and they were always asking for the money that the monies that they are getting. Is, as you have just been saying, you're fighting to get your money to carry out your point. So I'm really very happy that this time I'm going to go with you to the Prime Minister, because you know I'm regarded as a mzee. But what will be coming from this ministry, from this same meeting here, will be said by you, because I don't have that language of you, as you said, you were fighting for money to do your work, which is very important for the nation, and knowing very well that money comes from this thing. So we are lucky, Honorable, to have you here. This morning, we had the prisons, we had the army, we had everybody trying to enhance their salaries and things like that. And there's a presidential directive which was in cabinet. I thought instead of coming here, I should have gone with you to stand in for me. People in finance say this, say this. But I'm lucky to welcome you here. That when we are going to fight for this ministry, do fight the same as you were fighting for protecting this country. And at the same time, I can see you are already aware that the money you use to protect this country comes from this ministry. And I will tell you, I've been doing very badly. One, fighting with finance. Two, well, the military, you understand, since you have been a member of parliament and something, yours is always guaranteed to. But now, please make sure that as you want to get, you are here on loan, as you say. That's why I want to thank His Excellency. Make sure that the money which comes in to protect this country comes from this ministry, and let's give it respect. We are going to be here for a long time, for the next 2.5 years. I had wanted to terminate it in these 2.5, which I've just recently done. But a miracle happened. I was told that you come back and work. I had left because the challenges were too much on my own health, for trying to fight to make sure that things happen. And that's why I'm also saying I want to thank the President to have brought you here to help this important ministry, to see that we get money to protect our country, we get money to get this country to develop on the what. You can see I'm diverting for the speech which was written for me.
We are getting the message, sir.
As I said, he told me that after sometimes you know what to talk about. Now I've known what to talk about, and that's why I said, this is the first day I call myself a minister. Because at the beginning, when I came in here, you know where I work in business. You know my factory, you know my everything in private life. Is that when you are seated as the chairman or the MD of a company, you spare it to somebody, this should be done. You just say, get on with the job. But the person you have told is also an intelligent person. And he goes, when he reaches there, he finds that there is a better way of doing it because of his ingenuity and his being a technocrat. I was taught in management that then you come back and tell your boss that, sir, what you told me how to do it is not workable. The best way to do it is this way. And in those days, some of us were trained by old British managers. He would say, okay, gentlemen, go ahead. And you'd do it. You'd give you a part, you would get a promotion of having worked. But not saying that he's the boss, he told you to do this and you refused to do it. And he would give you recommendation. You would get everything. I remember I was not working in the government. I used to live in slums and so on. But my boss, I did something for him here. I'm the first person to establish a foam mattress in this country, to sell a foam mattress in this country. I was working with a company called Dunlop, but Dunlop was selling latex mattresses of rubber. So when they wanted to make a joint venture of making these foam mattresses, Madvani had a factory in Jinja, they called it Vitafoam or something like that. And it was supposed to be Dunlop Vitafoam and British Vitafoam, which was in Mombasa. I made a study in the shortest time possible. Instead of Dunlop selling, we used to have rubber mattresses of Dunlop in hospitals and so on. So I replaced rubber mattresses and I brought in the foam mattress. And my boss, in that exchange, I left living in slums. I was living with His Excellency the President and the other people whom were graduated at that time. For us who were not government servants, you would never step near Kololo or what, but my colleagues were stepping there. But when I came back and I did it, my boss said, "Now what do you want, Francis?" Because I had wanted to resign. He says, I said, "I want to have a house of my own. I want to live with other people." He said, "That is not a problem." He talked to London, because the Africans were not supposed to have accommodation, free accommodation. He told me, "We are going to give you a loan to build your own house, but you work for us for the next 10 years. We shall be writing it off without you paying, like a mortgage." And that's what I'm talking to my brothers here, that you must show your skill and you must show it professionally, satisfy the bosses. The boss, which is employment, is Uganda government which employs you. Once you do something which makes something, the bosses, the ones who recommend you, whether PS or somebody, will say, "Oh, please, I recommend you because you have done something." As I told you, my first house, I built it. They gave me a loan, but unfortunately, these Mzungus were sacked by Amin. They tried to chase me around that I owed money in the government here. But they found the agreement was proper. I had to work for 10 years. Now, coming back, again, when you grow old, you tend to tell a lot of stories. But I want you to get the gist of the matter. When I casted here, Honorable MBADI, whom I'm introducing to the people here, I was taken to be a strange person. It went out in the papers that the minister is staying commissioners. Commissioners in government are very important people. You know it, Honorable MBADI, since you have been in this thing. Because some person would come to my office, I would tell them, I was in the papers once at the beginning, that the minister there thinks that we are working either in a company. I used to be rough on some of these people. At the same time, I used also to have a problem. Here I am, I'm still telling you to confirm something to you. Then some other person comes in the office, and you see the person he runs out. You haven't finished with him. So I would say, "Come back, come back." That was a crime. They started writing to me about that. The minister thinks that we are working either in a banana plantation or in something. These are the commissioners. You have to say, "Honorable, honorable." But I'm sorry, I'm diverting a lot, but I'm making a point that I'm really very happy that you are coming in. And anybody coming back to our own selves now, the government, this government, which I was appointed the minister, who have done 2.5 years, as you heard the Honorable Tabas talking about our plans here. The problem is, when I came here, Honorable Amelia gave me NP3 book as the Bible for the government. in these last years. And she also gave me, the good thing, she gave me a manifesto, because I'm a movement man. Whatever ability I might have achieved now here is because I followed the manifesto, which I know very well. Even when we are there in cabinet, when things go wrong, I refer to my boss about the manifesto, and I am helped by another elder, Hamuntu, who is in charge of the manifesto. But now that I have you, now that I have you, no, you know the manifesto. You people are lucky, you know the manifesto. Now that I have you, nobody is going to disturb this ministry in cabinet there. The president knows I work by the manifesto, and he knows what you are saying is true. When I know they want to pull my, some of these other ministers pull me down because I don't talk through. I'm not very fluent about these things. I always ask her, Harriet, you speak, or so and so you speak. But now, this time, they are going to have it hard. They are going to have it hard. They are going to have it hard. You know very well what is the intention of government and why we are there. So when we are looking for money, when I will get to a certain stage, I will call on you, I will say, Your Excellency, maybe, Honorable, yeah, still, you are General MBADI. A few days back, I used to refer to Kamuntu, then Kamuntu would come and say, hey, I think Kamuntu will write something about the manifesto. I tell you, this NP3 coming in reality, which is the book which was given to me. Last week when we were swearing in, he made a remark. He asked the lady of the planning authority was there. And I came to find out, the first time I went in, I went with our commissioner. Please mention that one. I got a plan. Because I'm a man who knows what a plan is and what a project is. Honorable Gorobi, who was the Minister of Finance or Planning, did not feel ashamed of saying, how far have we gone? They say now we are on 23%. I think we might have had it on swearing in when there is that planning authority, the chairman. So, I will talk, you give me a chance to talk a little bit. But you have understood that we are lucky. We have got somebody here who is going to make us push things in the right direction. Then all that glitters and shines, I want to come about where you have come. You have made a miracle here. There are some people I've never seen in this room here, and yet they are very, very important. Even some of them whom I know that they are supposed to be here, it has always been my fight of saying, asking the PS, but who is this one, who is that one? I don't want to mention names, but some of them might look at me, and some of them, by the way, you are. As you said, me, I don't hit anybody in his back, even in my business career. I've been competing with Indians. I'm one of the biggest investors in this country. But one time an Indian who makes steel down industrial area told his people, other people, were in a meeting, he said, this Moyosa is very dangerous. When he wants to pierce you, he will pierce you in the heart. He's not like us who pierce from the back. You get what I'm telling you? So there are some people here now whom I am piercing in the face. That, gentlemen, the next management meeting, which is going to be on Wednesday, there are no excuses or not. I'm now going to pierce you in the front. With what? I also got a diary with my head on and things like that. Yet I don't have money for transport, for traveling to where is. So you, the people who call themselves planners, please always refer to the policy and of the government print less of this. You know, with the computer, you can do anything. This parish model, we just jumped into it, and the result.
Get a
And if you go to my office, I used to wonder when I would go to visit my fellow officers. It's a lie to the public that I've read this ministerial statement, all of it, and it is behind my back, and it is money. But since it is a routine, but I would say, let's reduce on this sort of something. As I told you, NP2, NP3, was it? Is it NP2? NDP3. NDP3. It is, we are only at a level of what? 23%. They refuse to give us money called invite. Even today I'm been fighting about money, about invite, what? You know, we took to cabinet. You haven't been coming to cabinet. I'm telling you the truth. Our ministry is not considered. Kaseja read a statement, which is very good for all of you to know here, of the money which we get from foreign. They should be given to the departments who use the money. This NDP3 should be given to an operative ministry. What do you call it? MDS?
The MDS.
The MDS, the ministries.
Ministries, departments, and other agencies.
And other agencies. But when they go to read finance, and you will see most of our cabinet papers, Honorable Minister, you have come here on the right time. I wish my colleagues are here. She knows. Well, we never have a paper, even a paper which is supposed to be ours. It is Minister of Finance and something. The only thing I've seen, people perform very well, like Honorable Katumba. There is something about rationalization, but he has already taken over the jobs of what? Of UNRWA. If we are to wait for passing this rationalization, they call it omnibus book, it will take so many years. Currently, at this ministry, I want also to inform you, which concerns you, is same thing, this free zone area, something like that. We have also got it by chance. I will give you the details of what we are going to do now. Yeah? You get it?
It's now 2 o'clock and we are going to the General to Parliament to lay those papers. It's already 2 o'clock.
He's telling me that I'm going to Parliament to lay papers to Parliament. I'm now talking about work. We shall go there. But what I'm saying, the whole thing is getting on business. A lot of money, which is supposed to be ours, is being given to other people. Now, anyway, having said all this, I'm telling you, my colleagues, I call you my colleagues, must start work from today in these 2.5 years. We are going to elections, and we have a party, some of us. The party must show that it has performed. So, be very serious about your work. I'm going back to what I was told, and it is a short one of the speech which is written. We warmly welcome you, Honorable General Wilson MBADI, the new Minister of State of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, in charge of trade subsector, to the family of the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. The Handover report focused on the functions, achievements, and priorities and planned activities of the 2 departments, which you will be directly overseeing: the Department of External Trade and Internal Trade. The vision, mandate, objective of the ministry are contained in the ministerial policy statement for the year 2023. At least I've not read, but I have read now something I've just said a few minutes back. Now I know, I have said this about this. These are books written. And 2024 and 25. It also contains information on the different departments and agencies under the ministry, copies of various policies and strategies have been availed to you. These documents should provide you with a broader perspective of the ministry. There are two key issues that I wish to note. That you have been appointed in accordance with the Article 111 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, which states that the President may, with approval of Parliament, appoint the ministers to assist the Cabinet Minister in performance of their functions. I'm glad to receive you here as to help me in my carrying out the function of my portfolio. I therefore expect your assistance in carrying out my functions as explicitly stipulated in the Constitution. You have been appointed as Minister of State for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives and Trade. You are expected to be conversant with what is going on, or what is going on, all planned to be done by all departments and agencies of the ministry. You may be called on a short notice to handle matters pertaining to the departments of industry, cooperatives, processing and marketing, and business development and quality assurance. There is ongoing process for rationalization of government agencies, but it may take time to finalize. The Permanent Secretary should arrange for you to visit Uganda Development Corporation, UDC, Uganda National Bureau of Standards, Uganda Export Promotion Board, Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority, and Management Training and Advisory Training Center. You will be required to fully briefed on the working of the World Trade Organization, the African Continental Free Trade Area, the Common Market of Eastern and Southern Africa, of which I am happy that the outgoing minister has given you a report about these ones. In 2021, I led a strong team comprised of ministers of state, agencies. In 2021, when I was appointed a minister, I led a strong team comprised of ministers of state, the permanent secretary, and the heads of departments and agencies to meet the president. We highlighted to the president the ministry's priority areas and challenges that the ministry was facing. They were the broader areas of market access, export promotion, industrial development, promotion of middle and small and medium enterprises, and cooperatives development. On this one, adding on whoever has written this speech for me, Uganda should turn up to be a private sector-led country. It should be our motto. Private sector-led company through the cooperative movement. At the moment, you have heard about what is called, all these circles, everything is all movement. I mean cooperative movement. So the word of cooperatives, the economy should be read through the cooperative movement, associations, which you have already also mentioned yourself. The small enterprises, you know, people sit on villages, form their own enterprises, and Ugandans are becoming very, very serious. A long time they used to say that people don't pay, they don't do this. People, when they sit down and stay together, you cannot, if you are in a society, you cannot eat people's money. You must pay back. So it is a very important thing that this economy should be read under the cooperative movement. So when we went to visit the president, my program and plan of this economy is to be a private sector-led economy through the cooperative movement. As you see, some countries like Sweden, like Netherlands, these countries are not purely capitalistic, they are capitalistic through the cooperative movement. So the cooperative development, through the interface with the president, the Ministry of Finance was directed to give us more funding. This demonstrates that when we work in concert as a united force, we can achieve a lot. We have recorded some significant achievement in the following areas on the things I introduced to the president that time when I joined office. But things in the government take a long time. You have to go to cabinet, you have to go to what, it has to be done. There is something they call financial implications. So the first thing I put in Parliament was the competition law, which was passed by Parliament and asserted too by Parliament recently. And now a lot of things about trade, since you are a member of Parliament, you know, this law has done a lot of work. I've heard about these petroleum things with the Kenya, you know, it stops monopolies. As you can see, Kenya has been trying to be a monopolist in the oil sector with all these petrol stations. But because of the new competition, we even took them to the East African court, and I'm told the case has been satisfied. You can now get fuel from Tanzania or from, you know, they stopped the pipeline. All these things are waiting for you, sir, as the Minister of Trade. But I had introduced this competition law, which has helped a lot. Cabinet approved the formation of cooperative bank. When I introduced this question of cooperative bank, many people started pulling their feet behind. And me as a businessman, I know why it went down. No foreign bank here would like the cooperative bank to come in place. But we are going to push it. And I need your help. First of all, the biggest supply of this cooperative movement is Wazalendo. You get me? I wish my minister will be liaising with my minister of cooperatives. Wazalendo is one of the biggest cooperatives who are going to allow us to have capitalization. You know, Bank of Uganda requires a certain level of capitalization. The other one, you will be seeing what it is. Those are the things I took to the president. So we could not do it immediately because these other foreign banks were against it. We have managed to increase the capitalization of UDC from 500 billion to 5 trillion for the next years. At the moment, I'm introducing this one to you that you join me in the fight, Honorable Minister. The money they are giving to UDB, I can even say it before my boss, out of the fund, should be given to UDC. Originally it was 500 billion, but now I've managed at least to increase it in cabinet to 5 trillion. But money is required. People want to develop, not by taking loans. The money they put to UDB, I will give you an explanation which will help me to fight with the Minister of Finance. It's like another commercial bank. But if you give it to UDC, UDC provides equity and will not take your business. It will be growing the business. Afterwards, we shall pull out and give this money to somebody else also to develop another thing. So that is another Honorable Minister of increasing. We have already increased this capitalization, but we must get money given to UDB. We shall even go out and borrow foreign funds. The executive director, he came of UDC. It is one of the things that I've given them, of UDC. This is the man. You might also be looking for him, as you said. You have a little bit of cocoa and all this sort of thing. She has been fighting about her factory, but they have been taking it in and taking it out. So you have come at the right time. You said they told me they write a speech for me, but after I have learned, I can talk off cuff. We need commercial attaches, not commercial, not diplomacy. We need to have people of our own ministry in those embassies to push things of saying. We have export promotion board. Recently, you can't believe it. This man had migrated to Ministry of Finance. Yeah. And I'm choosing him to you personally. Yeah. I'm choosing to you personally. And the president is aware that the president is aware this man is a very good marketeer internationally. But then the problem is, at least today you came to attend my meeting here. Yeah, he was taken by, you come back home. That is a good one. I'm feeling so happy to see him in a meeting today here. I'm going on, reading the speech that was given to me. Forming an apex body of private sector association in Uganda. I've been here for long in the private sector. I'm one of the first people who started Uganda Manufacturers Association. I'm also the first person on this act of UIA and everything. At the moment, Minister of Finance still takes on because of this Investment Act. There's something, PS, there's something going on at the moment in regard to, you know, I've been going to cabinet, to Prime Minister something about industry. The activity of industrialization and trade is in this ministry. But because Uganda Investment Authority is the one which we did that at the beginning. It was a very good idea to give these people so that they are attracted to invest here. And the president has done very well. We have a lot of foreign investors who have come here. But currently it has been abused so much. We even had a meeting recently about corruption, of people giving bribes to investors, people buying land which is not supposed to be bought. You have got a lot of work to do to help some of us when we go to the bigger people to cabinet. The role of industrialization is this. The role of trade is here, as I told you. They had even, UIA had even taken our man, our senior expert here. He's laughing. Even in rationalization, he went to the president and the president wrote to me back. There's nothing secret on this blue letter. He told him, he said, brother, you go and join Mzee here and start a unit. But have I ever seen him? It is only today. So, this time, I'm now saying it as a minister, please come back and do the job. We have signed so many. When we go in diplomacy, this is what they call political diplomacy. We have signed with Libya, we signed these protocols, you know. But they are executing them is hard. She will tell you, where have you been? You have been in several of these places signing this. But to execute them. And business needs a time factor that you do something immediately once it is done. As I said, then another one, amendment of the Sugar Act is one of the things we have done. There was a sugar board, but again about private sector. A board is a government department, but such a commodities like sugar should be done by the private sector themselves. This one we have gone back. The president has been helping us, but we are being tossed up and down. When you come to understand, we should need more of your effort so that we get this sugar council, and also get the council of grain, the council of everything, and then at the same time after doing this, Uganda is an exceptional country in this world. They don't have a chamber of commerce and industry. All who are there is one of Madam Chigongo. It's a private limited company. It's nowhere, but there is an act which we looked for and we couldn't see it, of 1933, that established the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I've got my commissioner there, who is an expert, and herself, who have been on the fast speed now, General, we have reached very far, we have learned the document, but now, you know what I'm getting now? You know, when we came to this financial implication, I was talking with the SST recently, and he said, but it is your fault. Have you ever told me about, but you had told me that I don't need to do this and this, but Right Honorable, you are not Right Honorable MBADI, this thing must be fast-tracked of an apex body. This thing called private sector foundation is nowhere in government. It should not even receive any money from the treasury. There must be a statutory body which is entitled to. At the moment, His Excellency the President has been our Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And I always thank him for that. But now we must have a body, Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ugandans shall talk about it. I introduced it. And the papers are very far to go to cabinet. Amendment of the Sugar Act, we have finished. Lack of funds or underfunding of ministries' priority areas, including underfunding of the agencies. Since a good number of agencies are under you, we have to work together as a ministry and have our agencies funded. I'm happy to note that you will soon be interfacing with highly trained technical officers who have a wealth of experience in their respective fields of expertise. This is demonstrated by the number of technical officers who have been here in this ministry and are now critical staff at a number of international regional organizations. The Permanent Secretary will provide you with all the technical guidance you need in pursuance of your duties. And while talking about these technical officers, I always have a problem with my colleague Kaseija. When we go there to talk about monies or something, Minister of Finance makes a statement of saying that they don't recommend us to these foreign people because our ministry does not have technical people. I will tell you the truth. The man who is in charge of money there, I hadn't learned all this, these meetings, you have to be very careful. Who is the commissioner in finance? I told you, my brother Kaseija, because we grew up together and studied together, I said, you say my ministry doesn't have trained officers. We have Dr. Mtambi here. We have the one of UDC is doctor. Even I understand you are doctor, isn't it?
Dr. Eric.
And is you a doctor? But you are a doctor, I think. You are going to meet our people here, are very well trained. Let no any ministry threaten us of saying that we don't have technical people to handle these issues. Because the people who divert government money to other things are not doctors. I have doctors here, and they have all become very redundant because the Minister of Finance takes away our role from taking money from us. And the Permanent Secretary will provide you with all the technical guidance you need in pursuance of your duties. I think let me stop there. You know, when you become old, you talk a lot. I don't want to bore you. There is something which I haven't mentioned. We are revitalizing the Management Training Advisory Training Center. It it was not put in this thing. We need onward training for our new people who are going into business. That body management training advisors training center was started by the World Bank to train people who are on jobs. Young people are now, our people are doing wonders. The child leaves school, you can even make biscuits in the home and what, but he needs training. And I want to inform you, the man who is leading the advisor and training center is a great man. Please stand up to be recognized by the minister. He didn't come? Management Training Advisor Center. It is a very important department, so that and I'm also blaming, I sometimes blame Birungi and many of these people who are having agencies. We can have these people trained in our own, for own courses in business. We have this MATAC here, we have Management Advisory Training Center, we have this one on this road, and you know, some of these courses can be run here, but we spend a lot of dollars sending people to Zimbabwe, South Africa, just to do onward. Originally in Uganda, in East Africa here, there was a SAMI, but the SAMI now remained the SAMI in Tanzania, where you go on with onward training on people on the job, and you entrepreneurs. You know, girls live now in Makerere. They just want to do their own business, so they need to be taught how to keep books of accounts. So that's another very important department we have to look at. I will always remember and cherish the diligence of the demonstrated when serving the country. You were always steadfast and served with a great sense of humor. The management training, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperative family wish you very, very best in your new assignment. I could see them smiling for a change when you were